313watkins.com. Streaming on Roku.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Urban Review. This show is sponsored by the Office of National Drug Control Policy and the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration. And so we would like to say that the thoughts and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the thoughts and the opinions of the Office of National Drug Control Policy, the White House, or the Substance Abuse Mental Health and Services Health Administration. However, we like to think that we're pretty much in line with them. Welcome. It is the month of June. The weather is beautiful, the flowers are blooming, and it is an exciting time here in the Motor City. First of all, tomorrow is Juneteenth, and that is going to be a heck of a day here in the Motor City. One of my very good friends, Mr. Horace Sheffield, the Reverend Horace Sheffield, Reverend Dr. Horace Sheffield, I should say, will be hosting a Juneteenth Palooza. And there will be a parade and a concert. And the parade starts at Livernois and Grand River and ends at Prairie and Grand River. And there will be a concert that starts at 12 p.m. and there will be Big Chuck will be performing, the Sci-Pi will be performing, Inspire will be performing, and the entire event will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. There'll be free food and free giveaways and tons of fun, and they will be celebrating freedom and the future. So there will also be over 20 organizations that will be there, block clubs and political candidates and more. So get out there and enjoy the first annual Juneteenth celebration that's going to take place with my friends. And that is at 9928 Grand River Avenue. And that will be for the parade, for the concert, for the free food, free giveaways, and a community celebration. And if you go to the Detroit Association of Black Organization.com or DABO.com, I'm sure you will be able to find the website and RSVP for that event. Next, we will be hosting on Saturday the Fatherhood Summit that will be taking place at Greater Grace Church on 7 Mile. And that will be going from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. And there will be lots of resources and activities at that location. And it'll be a wonderful, wonderful event. And then on Sunday, it's Father's Day. And I think that I want to just spend a little bit of time today talking about fatherhood and the importance of it. It is something that shapes families, communities, future generations. Fatherhood is truly important. And it's more than biology. Fatherhood is presence, it's protection, it's provision, it's guidance, it's consistency. And just as importantly, it's affection, showing children through time and attention that they are seen, valued, and loved. When fathers are engaged, children are more likely to thrive emotionally, academically, socially, and spiritually. And yet, fatherhood is often talked about in extremes. It's either romanticized or criticized. Too often it's discussed with stereotypes rather than with truth. So today, I want us to talk honestly, with compassion, with facts, and with faith. let's acknowledge something important. Many fathers are doing the work every day, quietly, faithfully, even under pressure. Fathers who show up to school events, fathers who walk long hours, fathers who are active in their children's lives, fathers who are raising children on their own, stepfathers who love children on their own, grandfathers and uncles who step up when the role is needed. And that matters. Now, there's a specific conversation we often hear in America about African American fathers. And you know that the public narrative is frequently negative, suggesting that black fathers are absent. But a fuller look shows a more accurate and a more hopeful picture. National survey data has found that African American fathers who live with their children are often highly involved in daily caregiving. Things like bathing and dressing and playing, helping with homework and taking their children and talking with their children about their day. In some studies of fathers who live with their children, black fathers report levels of daily involvement that are comparable to and sometimes higher than other groups. And even among fathers who do not live in the same household, many still remain involved through visits, calls, shared giving and caregiving, and financial support when possible. The reality is more complex than a stereotype. There are systematic challenges: mass incarceration, employment discrimination, barriers in family court systems, and economic stressors that have impacted family stability. But the presence of the challenge does not mean a lack of love or a lack of desire to be a father. So let's honor the truth. Many African American fathers are engaged and committed, and their involvement has real, measurable benefits for children. Now, let's talk about outcomes, because it's not just sentimental, it's practical. Research across many studies has consistently shown that children who grow up with involved fathers are more likely to do well in school, have fewer behavior problems, and experience better mental and emotional health. They are also less likely to engage in risky behaviors and more likely to develop confidence and self-control. And when fathers are active in the home, when they are consistently present and nurturing, children tend to have stronger language development, better social skills, and healthy relationships later in life. Daughters are often benefit through increased self-esteem and clearer expectations of how they should be treated. Sons often benefit by learning responsibility, empathy, and healthy masculinity modeled in real life. So let me be clear. A father being in the home is not only about a physical address, it's also about emotional availability. A father can live under the same roof and still be distant. But when a father is truly engaged, when he listens, teaches, corrects with love, and stays consistent, children flourish. We also know that father absence, especially when it includes a lack of emotional and financial support, is associated with higher risk of poverty, academic struggles, and emotional stress. Again, this is not to shame anyone, because every family has a story and many mothers have carried heroic loads. But it is to underline a simple truth: fathers matter. Now, as people of faith, or people who respect faith, we should acknowledge that the Bible speaks to this issue with both clarity and compassion. One of the most recognized commandments in Scripture is honor thy father and mother. In the King James wording, that phrase comes from Exodus 20th chapter and the 12th verse. And it is again repeated in Deuteronomy, the 5th chapter and the 16th verse. It's also echoed in the New Testament in Ephesians, the 6th chapter, verses 2 and 3. Where the Apostle Paul calls it the first commandment with promise, connecting honor and parents with well-being and longevity. Honor thy mother and father, that their days may be long upon the land. But notice something. That commandment assumes the importance of fatherhood. God didn't say honor your father if he's perfect. The instruction is to honor because God carries a God-given weight, and because fathers carry a God-given weight in family life. At the same time, the Bible does not only instruct children, it instructs fathers too. Ephesians, the 6th chapter and the 4th verse says, "Fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord." In other words, be careful with your power. Don't crush your children with harshness. Lead with nurture. Teach with love. Proverb also celebrates the role of a good father. Proverbs, the 22nd chapter and the 6th verse tells us, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." That training is not only the mother's responsibility, it's the calling of the parents, including the father. And Psalms, the 103rd chapter and the 13th verse, gives a tender picture of fatherly compassion. "Like as a father pitieth his children, so the Lord pitieth them that fear him." Scripture uses the image of a caring father to help us understand God's mercy. In the New Testament, Jesus describes God as Father repeatedly, showing that fatherhood is not an accident or a social construct, but a reflection of something sacred. When fatherhood is healthy, it becomes a living example of protection, provision, instruction, and love. Now, I want to pause and say this. Fatherhood is not only about never making mistakes. Every father falls short at times. The real mark of a strong father is not perfection. It's humility, responsibility, and perseverance. A father apologizes when he's wrong. A present father keeps his word as best he can. A present father disciplines without degrading. A present father shows affection because strength and tenderness can coexist. A present father makes time, not only money. A present father speaks life into his children. This message is especially important in our communities today because so many children are hungry for identity. They are searching for who they are, and fathers help answer that. A father's words can settle a child's spirit. A father's presence can make a child feel safe. A father's example can shape how a child handles conflict, commitment, work, faith, and relationships. And for African American families in particular, we should uplift the truth that strong fatherhood has always been a part of the story. Despite the forces that tried to disrupt it, from the resilience of families through slavery and segregation, to the leadership of fathers who built churches, businesses, and neighborhoods, to the modern fathers who are intentional and emotionally engaged, there is a legacy worth celebrating and strengthening. So what do we do with all of this? Well, first, we honor the fathers who are present and trying. Tell them that you see them. Encourage them. Celebrate them. You're going to see some fathers out there over the next 3 or 4 days. Celebrate them. Congratulate them. And then secondly, we want to support fathers who want to be better. If you know that there's a father who wants to improve himself, mentorship matters. Counseling matters. Job opportunities matter. And healthy communities matter. Third, we got to create environments where fathers are welcome, not treated as optional. In schools, churches, youth programs, community organizations, we should make room for men to lead and to serve. Fourth, let's show some grace. Some people carry wounds from absent or harmful fathers. And my words are not meant to reopen any pain. It's meant to point toward healing. And for those who did not receive what they needed from their earthly father, remember the scripture also offers comfort. Psalms 68:5 calls God a father of the fatherless. In other words, God sees the gap and offers himself as a source of care and identity. And as I wrap up this phase, this segment, let me say this. Fatherhood is one of the most powerful forces on earth. When fathers are present emotionally, physically, spiritually, we know that children tend to do better, families tend to stabilize, communities tend to grow. And when we look through the lens of faith, we see that fatherhood is not just a social role, it's a sacred responsibility. The Bible calls children to honor their fathers, and it calls fathers to raise their children with nurture, instruction, and love. So to every father listening, your presence matters. Your words matter. Your consistency matters. Your prayers matter. Your love matters. And to every community represented throughout the spectrum of our listening span, let's build a culture that strengthens fatherhood, supports families, and gives the next generation a foundation that they can stand on. And before I go to commercial break, I want to share something a little personal. I was raised in a foster care. And even though my life didn't start with the kind of stability that every child really deserves, God placed me in a home where there was a strong father in the house. His name was Mr. Walter Yerby. He may not have been my biological father, but he showed me what a real father looks like. Consistent, present, and committed. He set boundaries. He showed respect. He made the home feel safe. And I can honestly say that that kind of fatherly presence helped shape who I have become. So when I say fathers matter, I'm not speaking from theory. I'm speaking from experience. So thank you. And we'll go to commercial break. And thank you for watching Urban Review.
That was a great meeting. I gained so much from it.
It was pretty nice. And to think all we had to worry about was marijuana and alcohol usage.
Yeah, that number will be a whole lot lower. Did you know some common mental illness leading to addiction are bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety, and even post-traumatic stress disorder?
For real? No, I didn't know that. Imagine if everyone knew the consequences of taking such a serious drug. We'd be a lot safer.
Did you know you could ultimately die from using opioids at such a young age? Opioids affect the body by binding the brain and the spinal cord, which blocks the pain signals from reaching the brain.
Yeah, and also you could suffer from nausea, constipation, and like you said earlier, addiction, which commonly leads to overdose and eventually death. Dude, nausea and constipation at the same time? We need to spread what we learned today to everyone else so that they don't go down the wrong path.
Don't let opioids ruin your life. If you or a loved one are suffering from addiction, please call 1-800-241-4949. Let's keep our community safer.
My fear is not being myself or putting others in harm whenever I'm under the influence. Did you know drivers with a BSC of .08 are 4 times more likely to get in a crash than those with a 0?
There is a reason why the legal drinking age is 21. Underage drinking is ugly because teens who start to drink before the age of 15 are 12 times more likely to be unintentionally injured.
Over 300 fatal crashes and almost 4,000 injury crashes were alcohol related.
Death is ugly, especially senseless avoidable accidents. Yet on average, every 52 minutes, an alcohol-impaired driving fatality occurs.
Fees and fines are ugly and I want to get paid, not owing anybody money. If everyone obeyed new driving policies with a BAC of no more than .05, alcohol-impaired driving fatalities, injuries, and total costs could decrease by 71 through 77%.
Help us remind others to not be ugly with alcohol and keep alive with .05. This message was brought to you by the Center for Urban Youth and Family Development. For more information on how you can get involved, email admin@mycap.org.
Hey, I know you've seen them. Those sleek vapes that everyone says is better than smoking. Here's the truth. They're not. Did you know that in Michigan, 14% of high school students use e-cigarettes? That's a lot of people risking their life for a quick buzz.
Nicotine doesn't just harm your body, it affects your mind too. It can make depression and anxiety worse and even change how your brain handles stress. You deserve better than to let a tiny device control your mood and your future.
You know, I thought vaping was no big deal until it starting affecting my mood and focus.
Yeah, and did you know that kids who vape are more likely to smoke cigarettes?
But there's good news. You don't have to do this alone. Whether it's through friends, family, or a support group, there's always a way out.
Your health, your future, you're worth so much more than what vaping has to offer.
Detroit's got your back. Visit CUYFDcoalition.org for tools and support to help.
You will love your Avis Ford because at Avis Ford, we make it easy to get you your no money down monthly payment right over the phone. We call it Shop by Phone, and it's the best way we know to get you your payment options fast. You want leather and a sunroof? How about an upgrade to all-wheel drive? Just give us a call. Shop online, shop by phone, or visit us at Telegraph at 12 Mile. Call 1-800-SHOP-FORD.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Urban Review. Just kind of want to wrap a few things up. First of all, I want to once again remind you of our wonderful Juneteenth celebration that will be taking place tomorrow, 9928 Grand River Avenue, and that will start at 10 o'clock a.m., and there will be a parade as well as a concert at 12 noon, free food, free giveaways, over 20 block clubs and other organizations that will be out there in attendance, as well as some of our political candidates. So it will be a grand time for us to go celebrate the Juneteenth celebration. Then, on July the 9th, at the Wayne County Community College Downriver campus, which is 21,000 North Line Road in Taylor, their 12th annual Wellness Beyond the Walls conference, faith-based conference, will be taking place. And if you want to get more information about that great event, once again, that will be on July the 9th, and it will start at 9 o'clock a.m. and run till 4 p.m. There will be vendors there. There will be keynote addresses. There will be workshops. It is a wonderful event. It's going to take place once again at Wayne County Community College, Downriver Campus, 21,000 North Line Road in Taylor. If you want to get some more information about that, you can call 313-344-9099 or visit dwihn.org, and you will be able to get the information. And then last but not least, we want to remind you that if you would like to be a part of all of the wonderful work that we're doing, you can just contact us and be at the Coalition for Urban Youth and Family Development meeting tonight, and that will take place this evening starting at 6 o'clock p.m. And it is going to be a wonderful meeting where you will be able to have an opportunity to share your vision with us in our community coalition, our drug-free community coalition. And if you would like to call in, just go to Zoom, and the meeting ID number is 790-495-5710. Once again, that is 790-495-5710, and the password is C as in center, U as in urban, Y as in youth, F as in family, and D as in development. CUYFD is the password. So go to Zoom. The ID is 790-495-5710, and the password is CUYFD. Call in at 6 o'clock p.m., and you can be a part of our coalition meeting. Our coalition mission is to improve outcomes for Westside Detroit youth and their families by establishing and strengthening community collaboratives that promote positive youth development and community revitalization through the prevention of youth substance abuse and other problem behavior. The Center for Urban Youth and Family Development Coalition's mission reflects the work being accomplished by way of meaningful partnerships and established resources throughout the West Side community. So please come on out and be a part of this project with us at 6 o'clock p.m. Once again, 790-495-5710 is the meeting ID number, and the password is CUYFD. And be a part of the Coalition for Urban Youth and Family Development and the work that we do. And as we wrap up this evening, we want to close with those words that Nelson Mandela said to himself every day for 27 years during his years of captivity, and that is, out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods there be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud, and under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloodied but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the minutes of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. And I want to say a special shout out and thank you to 2nd District Councilwoman Angela Whitfield Calloway, and thank you for bestowing upon me the wonderful and prestigious Spirit of Detroit Award. It was such an honor and a pleasure that was bestowed upon me on June the 4th during our town hall meeting. So once again, thank you to the City of Detroit. Thank you to Mayor Sheffield. Thank you to all of the members of the City Council. Special thank you to 2nd District Councilwoman Angela Whitfield Calloway. And remember, when you're up against some trouble, meet it squarely face to face. Plant your feet, set your shoulders, lift your chin, and take a brace. And the worst is bound to happen. In spite of all that you can do, you may fail, but you may conquer. So see it through. Black may be the clouds about you, and your future may seem grim. But don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. And if it's veiled, to try and dodge it in spite of all that you can do, remember, running from it will not save you. So see it through. Even hope may seem but futile when with troubles you'll be set. But remember, you're simply facing what other men have met. So if you fail, fall still fighting. Don't give up whatever you do. Eyes to the front, head high to the finish, and see it through. Thank you for watching Urban Review.
.313watkins.com. Streaming on Roku.